Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, this is Alex. This is the Ramble, and we go from midnight till midnight tonight on the East Coast of the United States of America. Whenever I'm feeling depressed, whenever I'm feeling down, the first person I think about calling is Bobby Slayton because he will depress me even more. Hello, Bobby.
It's not like you're talking to Richard Lewis here, or Stephen Pearl,
or Larry Bubbles Brown.
Well, exactly. We go on and on and on. I'm a bit of Christmas time compared to those guys. But yeah, you know. By the way, you didn't call me. I called you to see how you were doing.
Yeah.
And I was going to call you, put you on my show. And by the way, we could talk about whatever you want. We can even talk about your trip to the dentist because I know how you always like to talk. You like Felix Unger. You can do a whole show. You know, when I used to come on your show in the morning, if you had any kind of mental or more medical problem, you know, and I didn't have anything to talk about except plug my gigs, we knew we could always hear about your medical conditions and the medication you were on and all that.
Nothing's changed. It's still the same.
And by the way, are you ever going to get rid of all the dreck sitting behind you? Do you really need DVDs and CDs and Blu-rays? And do you watch any of that crap ever? You know, it just sits there collecting dust.
I know.
Is it for like?
I know. Well, I was at one point. I was a collector of DVDs, but here's what happened. Okay.
At one point, I had a slingshot. I'd go out looking for squirrels, but you outgrow certain things after a while, and you really don't need them anymore. So I got rid of my slingshot. Okay.
No. What happened is, I started. This is not all of them. I started putting them all on video files on my computer. So I put maybe 1,000 of those on there. These are the ones that are left that I haven't done yet.
You know, my girlfriend's like me. You know, she got rid of a lot of clutter in her house. You know, her late husband was a member of the Academy, so every movie that ever came out,
right,
for 40 years, he had all this stuff. So she finally, you know, now between Netflix and Prime Video and the fact that even a great movie like Taxi Driver or It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, you know, it's like one of these movies like Goodfellas or Raging Bull. It comes on TV, The Godfather, Frankenstein, whatever. Yep. You'll never shut it off, but you're never going to take it and go, hey, let's watch this again. On TV, you're flipping channels. You go, hey, great, it's on. You know, Turner Movie Classics. But, you know, anyway, I just took all my DVDs. I had so many of them. Yeah. And I just gave them to Goodwill, you know, and
well, I would, except that there are, I would like to have a copy of them, and I still haven't done. You see, there's a whole blank area over here. I don't know if you can see it, but I have a blank area over there, and there's a whole bunch of them that I put on computer, but I still have them in the closet. I can't bring myself to throw them away.
Alex, you're almost 80. If you watched one movie a day for the rest of your life, you might maybe use a half a shelf. You know,
I don't collect. I can't tell you the last time I bought a DVD. I just, you know, you remember me? Do you remember laser discs? Remember my place with laser discs?
I remember when we both lived in San Francisco. You had the lovely apartment in the arena, and laser discs first came out. I think we're all like that. When cassettes come out, you get rid of your records, and then CDs come out, you get rid of your cassettes, and then and then when you get iTunes, you get rid of this, and you keep getting rid of stuff. And then your iPad, you get rid of DVD player. You start getting rid of more stuff. But yeah, you not only had an incredible collection of Laserdiscs, but you know, you would buy the latest DVD player, cassette player. So when something came out, you would always be at Best Buy. I think your apartment kind of looked like, you know, a showroom for televisions where you could, do I need a TV in the bathroom? I need one in the kitchen. But what about by the time I go from the bathroom to the kitchen, we better put one in the hallway. So you could just keep watching something continuously from room to room. It was like a sports bar with classic movies, with different games on all over the place.
Bobby.
Yes, I do remember.
Bobby, I'm 80 years old now. Don't you think at this age I've changed?
Your diapers? Good night, ladies and gentlemen. You're a great show. I haven't lost it. You still got it, kid.
Yeah.
You still got it. Mr. Saturday Night.
I mean, don't you think maybe I've changed at 80?
I don't know. I don't see you that often. I don't know.
Well, I got news for you. There's a TV set in every room.
Well, you know what? That's perfectly fine. I'm still amazed. Look, I have a beautiful big screen TV in the living room.
Yeah.
And I have one in my guest room, and I have one in my bedroom.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend goes, well, we're never in the living room. What do you need that for? I go, first of all, then there's just going to be a giant space. And I don't know, someday I might get into sports and have the guys over for the World Series and make nachos. And, you know, I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but it's nice to know it's there, you know? And why not have it? It looks good. You walk in the house. But I know a lot of people, and I'm sure you do too, that have never had a TV in their bedroom. That's like having a bathroom without a toilet.
That's the one.
What's the point?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only place to really watch TV, isn't it?
Right. Well, you know, it's funny because now that I live alone, you know, since my wife passed away years ago, I have this, not a big house, but a really nice, comfortable house. And I have a big guest room, and I put a giant, I don't know what it is, 70, 80-inch television in there. And my girlfriend and I will go in there to watch a movie or watch a big, you know, Springsteen or Stones concert because their sound is great. But then, you know, we go, most of the time we go, why don't we just lay in bed? So we're going to have to get up and go back to the bedroom. The 60-inch television in the bedroom, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's not
we have
spoiled,
a 65 in the bedroom. You know what I say about the size of a screen you get? It is this. Think about the relationship of yourself to the screen in a movie theater. How much of your field of view does it take up? So when you're in a bed, you're maybe a couple of feet away from the TV set. So if you got a 65-inch set, you've got your field of view about the same as it would be in a movie theater.
Exactly. And it's great. You know, and it's so funny. I remember the original TV I had in my bedroom. I think I was so thrilled. It was 42 inches. And I'm going, my iPad is 42 inches. 42. Remember you were a kid and your parents, you're watching Howdy Doody or something, or even in the 60s, and you had the rabbit ears. And I remember my parents got like a 30-inch television. Oh, wow, that's giant, you know?
Yeah. No, the first TV set we got, how big was it? I think it was a 21-incher. I think so. Maybe it was less than that, you know. And they were small. And then they went to 27s. And that's what you usually had if you had a tube set.
Right.
And I remember Shecky bought himself I think it was a 35-inch tube set. And to pick that thing up, you had to bring 5 guys over to pick the goddamn thing up to move it to another room.
Right.
Now, 35 inches on a screen, you just pick it up and put it under your arm and move it to the next room.
Yeah, you got 5 guys that can pick up a compact car and move it to the other side of your driveway. Things have changed. Yeah. Things have changed since we were kids.
Yes.
But anyway, so what was I'm sorry, you know, I got all dressed up for you.
Yeah, you really are. Yeah, and you've been out in the sun, haven't you?
Well, I live in LA and I don't work and I have a pool. So why not? You're the kind of guy that even if you lived in Hawaii, you'd be sitting in front of your computer and television. I know you.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, I sit out there all day. I sit in my pool. I read books. About 3 o'clock, I have a vodka tonic. You know, and it's that's my life right now. It's great as long as the money holds out. I have no desire to go back to do stand-up comedy, and it's
you know what though, Bobby. That is an absolute shame, and I'll tell you why. Because you're so goddamn good at it. You're probably the best there is.
No. Well, there's a lot of guys that are better now, but it's not, you know, I mean, there's a lot of guys now that I look at and go, wow. But you know what? And they're great, and they have the drive to do it. With stand-up comedy, it's like anything in the arts. If you don't have a drive to finish that book or finish that painting or pick up that guitar and write a song, you know, and the thing is, I know I was just talking to a friend who has a beautiful comedy club in Rochester, New York, and you know, I guess Cuomo, that idiot, you know, is closing all these comedy clubs, and you know,
don't call him an idiot because that idiot saved my life.
Well, a real idiot. That was another thing he did that was fucked up.
Yeah.
I like that story, how he saved your life. No, he's an idiot. I mean, you're in New York.
No, he's not an idiot. He saved my life. He saved the life of New Yorkers. I mean, we have taken We're the only state in the country that has taken that curve and just absolutely bent it so low that what is it? A couple of days ago, we had one death in the state of New York. We have 430 people with COVID in hospitals in all of New York State. And I'm 80 years old, and I had cancer, and so I am in one of those comorbidity groups. He saved my goddamn life. I'm still alive. I don't have the COVID yet.
All right. Well, there's friends of mine that have comedy clubs who are dying. So that's, I guess it's all relative. And comics that work in New York that can't work who are dying of starvation.
Well, you can go do one of those comedy shows at a drive-in.
Well, here's the thing. Look, there's a lot of comics that, like Bill Burr or Brian Regan or Jay Leno or Jerry Seinfeld that, not only are they all great comics, but, the drive to keep doing it. There's guys like Jim Gaffigan who lets you into his house. He can make fun of his family over a breakfast and pancakes.
Yes.
Okay, that's all great. That's good. If you have that desire to do it. And obviously none of those guys are doing it because they need the money. But I just don't really have the drive to do it anymore, and it's, and plus a lot of the stuff that I was doing, it's not that cutting edge anymore. It's not, there are guys out there that are just shocking. And look, I was never doing stand-up comedy to be cutting edge. I was never doing stand-up comedy to be politically incorrect. I was never doing it to shock people. People go, hey, you walked 12 people tonight. I never did it to walk anybody. I did it like Bill Burr or Lenny Bruce or George Carlin or Richard Pryor, not to put myself in their category, but these guys were thinking, hey, this is going to piss people off. I think they did it to be funny and maybe making people angry or think was just a little, side dish to their comedy. But now there's just so much out there and so many Netflix and so many YouTube.
Well, there's one other factor you're not bringing up is that we become so politically correct that a lot of the stuff you do is just not considered politically correct. You get heckled by, feminists in the audience who go, oh, me too,
Well, here's the thing. I've always had that, and it's always been okay. But now things have gotten so out of hand, with the cancel culture. I'm sick of talking about it, but things have gotten so out of hand. But here's the difference. I never made it to a level where I was playing theaters. You get a guy like Bill Maher or Bill Burr or Dave Chappelle or whatever. People are coming to see them in a theater. So people know what they're in for. I'm playing a comedy club, and you get some people who are, hey, we're just visiting Miami. We decided to go to a club. It's my daughter's bachelorette party. We decided to go to this club. People are on vacation or people walking by, and hey, it's a comedy club. So not everybody's there to see me, and I just don't want to listen to people's crap anymore. Whether they're Trump supporters or whether they're, Black Lives Matter or nothing.
Right.
I'm just saying I don't want to hear about it. I'm not there to, to talk politics or to be politically correct. It's a comedy club. But people, you're right, are so uptight now that it's just not worth the aggravation. I'm 65 years old. I don't want to listen to people's shit. I am perfectly happy being at home. Right before I called you, I was playing my drums. And I bang my drums. I don't play my drums.
Right.
I bang them. Yeah. And I used to, very frustrating. But speaking of that, so I just got a big screen TV, and I put it in my drum room so I could watch drummers and play along with them. And all that did was make me more frustrated because I go, shit, I'll never be like this guy. It's probably like Bob Dylan listening to Woody Guthrie for the first time going, shit, I suck. I have nothing. This is what it's all about. And I sit there, I throw down the sticks, and I hate this crap.
Let's go back to you, though. Comedy is something that takes a great deal of work to accomplish being a good comic. It's trial and error. It's years of experience. You are now at an age where you probably are one of the best comics alive, and you're not using your instrument. And that kind of bothers me.
The only reason I'm one of the best comics alive is a lot of them have died from COVID. Thank God. Could be at the top of the list. More of them would die. I'd be the only guy in demand now. Everybody would hire me. There's no other comics. They're all dead.
But then no clubs are open, though. No clubs are open.
That's right. No clubs open. You know what? Look, there's a lot of guys. I was good for my day. Look. You know what it's like? There's no best anybody. And there's all
Bobby, good for your day. I mean, that's like saying Jack Benny was good for his day. Jack Benny was just terrific no matter what.
But you want to know something? If Jack Benny came along now, or look, my favorite show of all time, The Honeymooners, they put that on now, people's sensibilities and people have become, I don't want to say more sophisticated, but there's a lot of stuff that doesn't, I was watching the other night, A Night at the Opera, and my girlfriend, who's a little bit younger than me, I met her through Jeffrey Epstein. Good night. My girlfriend is in her 50s. Okay, so she's a child of the 70s, the Love Boat generation. She didn't grow up with Get Smart and reruns of The Honeymooners and Lucy. But, if you watch a lot of those shows, so anyway, watching that at the opera, and she thought it was entertaining. I still find that stuff funny, maybe because I'm a guy, maybe because I'm a comedian, maybe because, it's like Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton and Harold Lloyd. You put that on for a lot of kids today, they won't find it funny. And I'm not saying the millennials are idiots, but or it's just women that don't like this stuff. But what I'm saying is Jack Benny might not, or Lenny Bruce right now. If Lenny just came out and did what he did, none of it would. Yeah. He was a product of his generation and of his time. The Three Stooges, for example, were always idiots. I'd like to see them come along now.
What I'd like to do is get back to that, because we've run out of time here, but we'll do another one of these and we'll pick up at that point, okay?
Okay, pick it up. Let's go.
Pick it up. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Bobby Slayton. He's playing absolutely nowhere because he doesn't want to. So,
right.
And also, if he did want to, there's no place to play. Thank you, Bobby.
Right. Thanks for having me on. I'll see you soon.
Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, that's Bobby Slayton. He'll be back with us again next week. We did a couple of those. So, and he said he'd come back often to do the program. So, good. I love Bobby. He's an old friend, one of my oldest and dearest friends, okay? Yeah, and I don't use the term friend lightly. Somebody has to be a friend. I don't just go, oh, hey, so-and-so's my friend. And I just, they were on my show once, right? And they say, oh, it's my friend. Anyway, let me talk to you for a moment about something. This is my show, and I get to vent my spleen on stuff, and that's the advantage of this, and I'm paying the freight on this whole deal anyway, so I may as well get my money's worth, which isn't much. First of all, number one, I think I am stopping the monetization of these programs, okay? There's a reason for it. I'm getting a little frustrated from them suddenly saying, or demonetizing your show. Now, I post 2 different versions of the same show every night. I post one that was recorded here while I'm doing the show, and then I post another one, which they post actually at YouTube, which was what ran live. Inevitably, the one that ran live always gets demonetized. Sometimes I ask for an appeal on it, and they monetize it. But most of the time lately, they've been demonetizing it. Yet, the other show, which is absolutely identical to the first show, except that it doesn't have a lot of the promos that we have at the beginning, suddenly that doesn't ever get, they say, you got to monetize that. And last Monday, my favorite show is the Monday show. It's just something about it, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, interesting bunch of people, amiable, all like each other, it's a sweet, quiet show, all right? They demonetized it. And then I appealed it, and they said still demonetized. I'm trying to figure out for what. What we did is we had Kathleen was on the show, and we were talking about the fact that she didn't have a great signal coming through, and she says, I think I blew my router. And then we kind of made jokes about her blowing her router. All right? We weren't talking about human appendages, we were talking about a router. And I think that's what they found objectionable. So rather than make what little money I make off of this isn't worth it to me, and what little money they make off of it maybe at least adds to their bottom line. I don't know. But that being the case, I would rather rob them of the money by demonetizing the show myself. So if you're watching it tonight, you watched it without having to get a commercial at the beginning of it. Okay? All right. So let me tell you one other story, and then we'll get to our panel. I have been a member of my union since when? Since 1965? When did I join the union? I'm trying to remember when I first joined it. I got out of the military in 65. Then I went a few places, and then I wound up in New York about maybe 68. So since 1968, I've been a member of AFTRA, which has lately become SAG-AFTRA. And I've been a member of this union, whether I was working at a union station or not. And it was a little harder as years have gone on to work at union stations because my union is such a bad union that they allowed all these major contracts to go the way of the dodo. So that, for instance, here in New York, you virtually could not work a radio station without having to be a member of AFTRA. And as years have gone on, they have so let these go by the wayside that now you find very few stations in New York that are AFTRA signatories, okay? So consequently, the union has let us down in that regard. Also, that meant that over the years, I wound up having to work at fewer and fewer what we call AFTRA stations, stations that were union. Working a non-union station was okay because as long as they were legitimately non-union, that nobody had ever gone in there and tried to create a union and they wouldn't let it happen or whatever, as long as it was legitimately a non-union station, I could work it. But I have always maintained throughout all of that over the years my membership in AFTRA. And the reason is that, hey, it's my union. And it gave me a certain sense of pride the day I got my first union card when I worked in, when did I first get it? I think I first got it in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. That's where I first got it. But anyway, point being that I've been a member of AFTRA since, well, let's say 1967. Okay, how many years is that? About 50 years, something like that? I don't know. You add it up. And really, I've gotten nothing out of the union. They've never gotten me a higher wage or anything like that. There's one story I have, but it's too complicated to get into, about the time that I tried to make my company a union signatory, which I did. And then when they found out that I was getting health insurance as a result of it, because my company was literally paying into the union pension fund and all of that, and after about a year of it, they said, oh, you can't do that. You're doing that just to get the health insurance, which wasn't the reason I was doing it. I was doing it because I'm a union guy, and I wanted to be a part of my union. And I wanted my company to be part of my union, and that when I hired people, I could pay them union wages, and I could add to their pension and welfare. I had the kind of money I could do that. And so I was all for that, but they said no. And then on top of that, they didn't credit me any of the pension money that we paid in, any of the health benefits that we paid in for. I really got screwed by SAG-AFTRA. But in spite of the fact that that happened, I still stayed a member of SAG-AFTRA. And throughout the years, every quarter or every half a year, I have paid the union dues, whatever they were at the moment, over the years, because I wanted to be a member of my union. And occasionally I would work a union job, so it worked out to the better that way. Like when I was doing Comedy Tonight in San Francisco, that was an AFTRA thing. And a few other things I've done, commercials, crap like that. So, but basically, there was no reason for me to be a member of AFTRA all these years. Okay, but I have been doggedly. Well, nothing has ever come good out of being a member of AFTRA. I've got to tell you that, and I often have felt that they were a wimpy union, just an absolutely wuss union, because over the years, they have allowed all these stations that once were union stations to go by the wayside, to let the union contracts lapse, or allowed them to just go the way of the dodo. And that affects me. It affects the rank and file of the union. And they've done a lousy job of maintaining things in the radio business. Also, in the early years that I worked here in New York, I found that they cared more about the contracts for the guys that sat in an announcer's booth over at Channel 7 than they did about a young a disc jockey who might be working at one of the rock stations, okay, especially the progressive rock stations. They would throw us to the wolves so they could get more money for a guy every half hour to go WABC New York. All right, so anyway, I've had gripes with them all these years, but the one thing that they did is finally a couple of years ago, I'm getting Medicare, and I find that I can get their senior plan. And they had a senior plan that not only included my insurance, health insurance, but also Marjorie's health insurance as well. And it costs us a total of about $2,100 a year, which her company is paying for, okay? And it was great. I mean, it wasn't, 100% or whatever like some plans are, but it was pretty damn good. And we had dental. We had $2,500 in dental insurance and things like that. It was really damn good. Prescription drugs, I was paying a third of what I was paying under the other plans that we had before that. So it was really great. Well, all of a sudden, about 2 months ago, we get a letter, an email that says, well, we're stopping that plan. What? Yeah, we're doing away with the senior plan, the retirees plan, but we're giving you something better, right? We decided that we can't go the cost of this any longer, although they said they might run out of money in about 3 years. Well, but they had to do this now for some odd reason. And they said, you're going to be able to have this thing called Via Benefits. So today we have a call with Via Benefits. We have this mass call, what do they call, webinar. And they tell us their plan. And all they are is goddamn insurance agents. They're just basically saying, well, here's this plan, and you can choose from this plan, and you can get this plan. And how much is it going to cost? Well, for you, it's going to cost $300 plus you got to pay for the what do you call it? The prescription. All right. I go, okay, how much is that? $320 a month is probably what it's going to cost you for the really good plan, the high-end plan. And then I wrote in, does this include my spouse as well? And they said, no, that's for one person. So all of a sudden, it's like $640 a month for Marjorie and I. And they throw this on us in 2 months ago. And now, of course, it's starting to settle in because we're finding out exactly what the plan is and all of that. What basically AFTRA did was take especially, not only us, the rest of the union too. They raised the cap of the amount of money you have to make every year in order to get their insurance. They have lowered some of the plans and so on, and so that even the people who aren't seniors yet are getting screwed as well. But the seniors, and there are about 8,200 of us in the union, are all getting screwed out of this other plan. Just like that, It's like we weren't told, hey, you got a year to figure this out and blah, 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 blah. No, or we got a year to figure it out. We want to let you know, put in your 2 cents worth. Let's see how we can save the plan. No, it's just boom, like that, Then I go online and I start reading people who are complaining about this, and there are people just yelling bloody murder. And there was an article in the New York Times about this about a month ago, in which they said that people are going to be losing their health insurance benefits. For instance, if you have a wife and she's included on your current plan, this doesn't mean the senior plan necessarily, but any of their plans, and she's covered at her job, they're not going to cover you anymore. Okay? They also pull this, mind you. They tell everybody, you have to make, we've raised the amount of money you have to make every year, $10,000, and you have to work like 84 days a year. And it's not whichever comes first. It's either 84 days. If you don't work 84 days. Anyway, they do this in the middle of a pandemic when nobody's making movies, radio stations aren't hiring, TV stations aren't hiring. They did this all in the middle of a pandemic, where a lot of the members who normally would have been covered because they had a job, or they were making movies, or they were acting and whatever, they're not working now. And they did this in the middle of this pandemic and the fact that people aren't working. All right? So forget about me as a senior. Think about everybody in this union who is just getting screwed by this union. And people have gone online and they're complaining about it. And I signed a petition. It's got about 18,000 people on it. You can go onto my Facebook page and you can sign the petition there. But I don't know if any of that's going to help. I've suggested that what we do is get down there and we'll get out in front of the New York office and the LA office and picket, literally picket a union. Okay, that'll get you some publicity. And they have this big inflatable rat. Have you ever seen the big inflatable rat that they put out in front of places that they've gone on strike over? I wanted to get the inflatable rat and put it out in front of the SAG-AFTRA offices in New York City. Just, you've seen them, right? What they've done to the union membership, and what they've done especially to seniors who, at our age, it's a little difficult, Yes, somewhere I will fork over the $300 or $400 a month. Imagine that, $300 or $400 a month. And this is for only 20% of my medical. The other 80% is taken care of by Medicare, who, by the way, takes another $100 from me a month, okay? So for close to $500 a month, I'm going to be able to have health insurance. And you know why it's costing me so much? Because of my goddamn union. Because they didn't do anything to prevent this from happening. And screw all of them. And then they had this little video they run of members from our union, like Barry Gordon. You remember Barry Gordon, the kid actor? I think he was in, what was that film? I can't remember the name of the movie. But he did a lot of films. He also played Jack Benny as a child on the Jack Benny Show. He's there going, hey, I'm a senior now, and I think this is a great plan. And you go over to Via Benefits, All Via Benefits is an aggregator for Medicare health plans, and no, they're not going to get you a bargain. And hey, we'll subsidize you though. We have a health benefits plan where we'll pay a little bit of the money out of your chunk of money that we give you, but I don't get any because I didn't work that much. All right, so the people that are being affected are older people, younger people who don't make the big cap. This is a union. It's supposed to be watching out for its membership, not screwing it. Very few of you are AFTRA or SAG. I doubt there are any SAG-AFTRA people on the show. Or listening to me right now. So there's not much you can do that way. But, what's a union for if it doesn't take care of its members? And when, especially in a pandemic, especially in this atmosphere, they don't do anything about it. It's a crime. It's an absolute crime. And they're going to be after members who are going to die as a result of this because they don't have the money. Come on. Not everybody who works in movies has money today. They're older, they're in their 80s, they've kind of run out of the big cash, and they need every little help they can get. I mean, the union should say to people, based on your ability to pay, we'll give it to you for nothing if you really need it because you're a union member and you've been a good union member for the last 50 years. Right? No, they don't give a shit. Anyway, that's my gripe. I'm sorry if I bothered you with this. I really don't like to, but a lot of people heard me. Amazing. Anyway, let me see here. I think it's time to go over to our Zoom panel, and Charlie Wallace and Robert Natali And Brian Neary is there, and we'll go to them. And here we go. Hello, guys. How are you all? Huh?
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Good.
Yeah. Excuse me if I wanted to, rail against my goddamn union, but,
Sounds like you got screwed.
Huh? No, screwed big time. Screwed big time. Yeah, we were getting kind of a bargain with this other medical. I mean, it didn't cover everything. There were a lot of co-pays. You owe so much, whatever. One of these plans I can get, and Marjorie's company is probably going to pay for it, will take care of 100% of everything, right? Take care of everything. So there's no money out of our pocket at all. But, she wants to retire. When she retires, we're not going to get her company paying for it. So we've got to look into it and say, hey, here's what we're going to have to pay if you're not working. Okay? So, I mean, it's really, so we're rushing around looking for other plans to take care of this. Although they're all about the same, but maybe we'll find something that's, but I mean, just to abandon us like that, and to abandon us in a year like this, because the actors who might make that cap in order to get insurance aren't going to get it this year because there are no films being made. This is basically, it's SAG, Screen Actors Guild, okay? And AFTRA, there's not a lot of television being made. And radio, they're letting people off like crazy. So, you expect that people are going to be making this kind of money in order to pay for the insurance? No. Watch out for your members. Say, hey, there is a pandemic going on. Let's this is the time we take care of these people. Anyway, it's a horrible union, just horrible. It's horrible because it's a weak-willed, unthinking union, and it doesn't feel like, my father was a union guy, real big union guy. He was a member of the Musicians Union, okay? Not exactly the toughest union. It's not like the longshoremen, when they go in to negotiate with a band leader, they didn't say, we're going to break your legs. They didn't do that kind of thing. But he was a union guy. In fact, in his later years, and upon his death, he was actually a union representative for musicians. So I got this great feel about what a union is and what a union does. And what a disappointment this union is, and has been over the years. I mean, this is not the first time. Years ago they decided they were going to raise the dues of the membership by. They said they could raise by raising the dues for the membership. They could bring in $25,000 more a year. All right. So I'm at this meeting because I want to protest raising dues. Now, you would think that if they want to raise dues, most of the people there are going to yell, no, we don't want you to raise the dues. And that's exactly what happened. Do you think the dues got passed? Yep. What? Everybody's going, this is terrible, this is horrible, boo on you, okay, let's take a vote, blah, blah, blah. What? All of a sudden, we're paying more dues. I got up at one point and I looked at their little balance sheet thing I had, and I noticed that there was $25,000 a year for the SAG-AFTRA newsletter. And I don't know, you've never seen it, but basically it's a newsletter with photographs, sometimes in full color, of people shaking hands with other people. Okay? And that was it. And I got up and I said, we don't need this newsletter. It's only a bunch of people, just its ego, Let's do away with the newsletter and keep the dues the way they are. And they went, next. Yeah, they wouldn't even discuss it. They wouldn't get rid of the goddamn newsletter.
Like Trump, next.
That's my union. That's my union. Yes, John.
Did you get to vote for the Academy Awards?
No, No. That's
Oh, I thought that was SAG.
no,
People get to
that's the
vote for that.
Academy. I get to vote for the SAG-AFTRA awards every
Oh,
year,
okay.
where that's the only benefit I have left, and that's probably gone because it used to be that around Christmas time we would receive this shitload of
Yeah.
what we call screeners, and I kept my membership just for the screeners, and this year there won't be any screeners. What? What's coming out?
Yeah.
Best TV show? What is it going to be? That webinar we had on insurance? I'll vote for best show by that one. And then the host on this thing, boy, was he a loser. Oh God, I sat here and I got this sinking feeling. I mean, I've got to get some insurance somewhere. We've got to pay for it. And Marjorie's company will pay for it. But when she's no longer working there, then it becomes our responsibility, and we've got to have it be at a reasonable rate that we can afford, And yeah, I got money in savings. I got stuff, and I could probably go many years paying $3,000-$4,000 a year, and somehow, die of some other. It'll make me live longer, so I can suffer losing the money. And I can probably come up with the money, but, it's just going to start robbing me blind. And think about that. 20% of my medical insurance is costing me, what, $400 a month? That's insane. It's insane. And if you had to get it, if you had Medicare, do you have Medicare yet, anybody here? Yeah. Yeah, you got it. So you know what I'm talking about, right, Jeff? I mean, you're probably paying a big giant chunk of change for your part of it, and all they're paying is 20%, and they're betting you're going to get they're betting against the fact that you're not going to get sick, and you probably won't. So I don't.
We need single payer.
Huh? Well, of course. Well, we can get back to that, but
Single payer.
Yeah. Who gives a rat's ass?
Obamacare.
Huh?
Better Obamacare.
Well, Obamacare kind of sucks. Obamacare is not what we should be having,
Better, just fix it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can call it Obamacare and fix it. Yeah.
Right. Hey, call it whatever you want, just fix it.
Yeah. So anyway, it's Kathy says I tuned in because I thought the talk would be about Woodward's book, not Alex's medical insurance problems. Well, Kathy, fuck you. It's my show. I pay for this. I'll talk about what I want to talk about. You guys aren't bored, are you?
No.
I switched it on and it was about monetizing. I went down and got a drink, and then there was the insurance.
Yeah, we will talk about the Woodward book if you guys want to.
I'm in a union.
What union?
It's a theatrical workers union for
okay.
ushers and backstage thing.
IATSE?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, IATSE. My mother used to work as a secretary at the IATSE office, I think.
In San Francisco?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Those are the people. That's the stagehands union, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll come over and we'll break your sets if you don't sign the contract with us. How would you? We have things called VU meters in radio that were little needles that used to go back and forth. I always used to do a bit about our union representative comes by and says, "How would you like your VU meters not to work so well?" Yeah, we might bend them. Anyway, yeah. American Patriot says, you tell her, Alex. Yeah. Well, she hasn't written anything since I told her to go fuck herself. And I can do that now because we're not getting monetized any longer.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, anybody hear about this whole thing with Woodward and his book and his interview with Trump?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What-
I saw some though.
Yeah,
It's
what?
no longer surprising, you know?
No.
Nothing shocking.
Nope.
He can't go any lower.
Yeah, but I mean,
Confirmation.
my question is, how low does he have to go before he loses his own people?
Yeah.
That's
Don't
just
have
it.
to.
I don't think,
I don't
there's
think
no,
he will.
There's no bottom.
Well, I
There's
mean,
no bottom.
Cult got a cult.
when they say that he says that, you know, he said all the things he said, and then he told Woodward something completely opposite.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of, you know, really makes him skeezy. You know, it makes him irresponsible.
And now the White House is saying that he never did downplay the COVID-19.
Yeah.
What?
Right.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's on tape. You can hear his voice
Wait a
saying
minute,
it.
Doing it for
seem to
fucking 6 months.
I seem to hear the echoing voice saying to me, I may be wrong about this, but an echoing voice saying, it's nothing worse than a common cold.
Yeah.
I think I remember that.
Go away.
Huh?
It'll go away. Miracle will happen. Just with the heat.
Be
Yeah,
down to 0 in 2 weeks.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, if it wasn't for me, there'd be 3 million people dead.
yeah. So, I mean, amazing, just amazing. But you know, I mean, how many people have died as a result of his? Well, I don't think it's a problem. You know, it's no worse than the common cold. This is all going to go away. Hot weather, make it go away just like that. You know.
Calling the generals fucking pussies was a nice touch.
That's a
Yeah.
nice
Oh
touch.
yeah.
Fucking pussies, yeah. Woo.
You know, here's what I don't get. You know, I don't know if you heard the Woodward phone calls, but it was an entirely different Trump.
I know.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
That he seemed far more in control of what he was saying, a lot more, how can we put it, speaking English correctly. You know, do you know what I'm saying? If you listen to it, he sounded almost coherent. And yet, when he talks about it the other way, he gets completely incoherent. You know, if he had said all this stuff way back when, think of how many lives he would have saved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know. So, I mean, where are you going, Bree? Bree's taking us on another trip
What's in
through
that
his
cage?
life. Huh?
I caught
What's
another
in-
civet.
Let's see.
I caught another.
Oh,
another
no.
civet.
Let's see
At
it.
this point, at this
What he
point,
does,
start
folks, in
marking
case you
off.
don't know what he's talking about, he traps foreign cars. So it's. Well, you said you caught another Civic.
Civet.
Oh, Civet. Oh, I see. Okay.
Well, let's see it. Take it out.
Yeah, right.
I've been out there. I was out there. I just showed you.
Where?
Go get it. Take it out of the cage.
Wait a minute.
No, I'm not taking out. Okay, this one tops all the others. It's the largest, and also, it's trying to get out so much that it's damaging its face and its tail. It's bleeding. So I called I gave it another banana, and I called wildlife and said, "Get over here now." It's so intent on getting out. It's killing itself, to get
Can't
out.
you take it out to the beach and let it go or something?
I can't do anything. I don't have a car, and
Yeah, he needs to get the animal control people in
Yeah.
here, and he's in there,
Yeah.
right?
Plus, if he lets it out, he'll probably attack him.
Exactly.
Really?
Now, how
Yeah,
did
rabies.
how did you catch it?
also these ones, by the way, are related to SARS. They were known carriers of SARS,
Oh, God.
and they like to spit at you if you come up to them. So-
Really?
There it is.
Well, let's see. Go closer so we can see it.
I'm not going. No.
John, come on.
Yeah.
Hi, sleeping.
Whoa, that thing's huge.
Wow.
That is
Yeah.
Sleeping Civet Live.
Can you zoom in on that? Is that possible? You can usually zoom in if you use your fingers to separate
Yeah.
a little bit.
I'm
Yeah, there you go.
Maximum.
There you go.
Oh, man.
Wow. He looks like he's passed out.
Yeah, give him another 5 minutes, he'll be going crazy again.
Really?
Yeah. And I put the banana on top to distract him, or her. We think it's a her.
Yeah.
We put the banana there because otherwise he's just running into the cage and into the hook, and really damaging her body. So,
Jeez.
Are they dangerous?
They can be. I mean,
Yeah.
like a rat. They can certainly attack if they feel cornered.
Are they about the size of a house cat, or are they larger?
Way larger.
About the size of a house cat.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
That's
like a
bigger
Maine
than
Coon cat.
That looks bigger than a house cat.
Well, a Maine Coon cat. You ever seen a Maine Coon cat?
Nope.
Oh,
Yeah.
They get pretty big.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
I have to figure out a way to get it some water. I'll wait until the midday. Usually they sleep from now until
wait a minute.
about
When are the
10
animal?
p.m.
When are the animal control people coming?
Yeah.
Well, I hope that they come soon. But if history holds, they will only come tomorrow at noon.
okay.
Why don't you take it out to a field and let it go?
There aren't any fields around here, number one.
Oh.
Number two, I have no way to transport it. I don't have a car. I
Oh.
just have a bicycle. I could put it on the back of the bike, but that would be probably traumatic. And there's no fields around here. I wouldn't know where to release it. And this one needs care. It needs. They need to knock it out, and then do some,
First aid.
repair work. Yeah.
What do they do with it after they repair it? They put it like in a wall somewhere?
That's my understanding. I don't know what they do. I mean, if they had a civet cat coffee farm, they could take them there.
Dinner.
It could be the same one just coming back to your house all the time.
No, this one is definitely different. I can tell them. The first two were very small babies.
Why have they picked? Wait a minute. Let me ask you this: why have they picked your house?
I think it's a combination of factors. One of which is we keep putting all these juicy bananas out there.
Well, stop with the bananas then.
Well, I have no problem with them. They want to live out there, take some of my wheatgrass. That's fine. I just cannot abide by 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. They're chatting up in the attic, and the attic is, I tried to seal it off. It's almost impossible. The reason why I think is we're kind of at the front of the Taman, or what they call the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And the houses on either side of me do not have rain pipes. Theirs are all internal. And then behind me, there are two homes being constructed upon. So they have construction. So I think on many days, the construction workers are not there. And I think the civet cats go in the house and go in the attic and they live there.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the construction workers come, they get scared and they hear the saws and the hammers.
Right.
And then they come over towards me. I think that's what's happening. There are a couple of large trees over there where I think that they go at during the day to sleep, and then I think at night they come into our neighborhood, and we're kind of at the front of that area.
And they say, let's go over to Bree's house. He's got bananas.
That's right.
Yeah.
They say, let's go over there and get those.
Okay. Well, anyway, back to...
well, Trump has got the Nobel Peace Prize, so everybody has acknowledged that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, what? What are you talking about?
He's been nominated for the Peace Prize.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
but-
Probably get it.
Anybody can nominate anybody.
Yeah. With some Nazi in Norway.
did somebody nominate him again?
Yeah, some right-wing nutcase in Norway on the Norway Nazi Party.
Okay, well, he's not going to get it. You
No,
know.
of course not.
You don't know. You don't know.
Come on.
He says he should have a few by now.
Yeah.
I don't, he wants, what he wants is he wants a Nobel Peace Prize, but he can't figure out for what. I mean, to begin with, for what?
He's got to do something.
There isn't one for world's biggest asshole, is there?
the UAE Israeli thing, I give him credit for that. He had to pull a lot of personal levers to get that.
No, but wait a minute. Hold on a second, Bree. A lot of presidents have managed to broker peace accords between those two sides, and then eventually they fall apart. Okay?
Yeah.
So let's just see how long this holds together.
Yeah, you're right there. I told you before that a lot of these connections were kind of there. They were just never acknowledged officially.
What I'm saying is,
But Israelis,
I can't imagine anything that you give them a peace prize for.
yeah, I give him credit for this.
I don't give him credit for it. I don't give him credit for it at all.
Well, I give him credit. I give him credit for
What?
For brokering this deal.
What did he broker?
I agree. It's not as.
And I guess we should also give him another peace prize for brokering a peace with North Korea.
Yeah.
There, I think he distracted things enough.
Oh,
that
according
we didn't think. Everybody was saying that we were kicking the can down the road, and people were saying there's not enough road. I think Trump built more road.
What was the term that Kim Jong-un used to describe Trump that flattered him? It was like emperor or something like that. What?
His Excellency.
His Excellency. Your Excellency.
Like he's a king or something.
Yeah. Yeah, he loved that. He loved that.
Yeah.
He that made Trump Kim Jong-un's bitch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, if it kept him from launching any missiles or whatever, so be it.
So did this shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, hello, Kevin. How are you this evening?
Okay, how you doing?
Yeah, well, I'm doing all right.
So Alex, it's been in our area, maybe San Francisco. Yeah, in San Francisco too. It's been like orange.
Yes, I know. I saw that on the news tonight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I woke up.
Red.
I woke up. It was so dark this morning. I thought it was still nighttime. I was like, I had to check my clock.
Supposedly, all the skies are the color of Trump's complexion.
Yeah.
It's all sepia all the time.
In fact, if he went out to California right now to do a campaign stop, he would disappear.
Yes, that would be nice.
Like a green screen.
Yeah.
But the ash would ruin his hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it bad where you are, Brian?
Yeah, really bad this morning. It was snowing again. Lightly, I saw other video that was even worse. But just the orange glow is like when you're in somewhere and like the outside is glowing. They say it's like a sunset, like a continuous sunset all day. Really bizarre. Then my friend showed pictures from Oregon where it's like a red color. It's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, it was all day, and I drove to Monterey. It was the same thing all the way down.
Really? Now, is this happening in Southern California too, or is it less in Southern California?
It might be because they got a fire down by San Bernardino or down by San Diego, but it might. I don't know about them, but it hit the Big Creek fire is coming west, and it's joining up with Dolan down here, which is Big Sur, and then the north winds are bringing the stuff down towards the Bay Area. There's one up in the north end of the Guerneville up there by Guerneville, and that's all coming south. So they're all just kind of conglomerating. And it's it's just it's just this big haze. You can't see shit.
Which is
the sun today.
Which is the excuse me. Which is the gender reveal party fire?
That's the one down south. Yeah.
We just stop with gender reveal parties. We just
it's so stupid.
Why would you set off fireworks during a drought?
And I would suggest you do your gender reveal party once the kid becomes 18, because things do change,
Yeah,
that's right. Hey, we did a gender reveal. We just told everybody that's a girl. That's all. Yeah. That was the reveal party.
Well, did you see? There was one. If you look it up online, this is poetic justice. There was a guy doing a gender reveal, and they had this Roman candle supposed to shoot up into the sky. Mm-hmm. He had it reversed right at his crotch. They got video.
Well,
They got video of it online.
Well, that's fine because that changed his gender.
Gender repeal. Yeah.
Yeah, gender repeal. No, boy. But anyway, so the whole thing with Trump is what is it? It's like I said before. What does it take? What would it take to get you to vote for Biden? Is anything going to convince his people?
No.
These troglodytes that are going to vote for him?
No.
Because all Biden has to do is stay out of the way. And Trump's pretty much going to lose this one on his own. Because it gets worse every day. I mean, armed with the information that people are armed with now, how do they vote for Trump? Under any conditions? Well, we didn't get an answer on that one. Yes, you, Charlie.
I just don't understand how any seniors could vote for him. He's promised to defund Social Security and Medicare if he's reelected. So why would any senior ever consider voting for him?
Well, if he wants to defund Medicare, best thing he could do is probably become the president of my union.
There you go.
They seem to be experts at it. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. So what else is in the news? Is there anything else? Just every day you wake up, it's Trump this, Trump that, Trump. Our governor announced today that he's letting indoor dining start at the end of this month. 25% capacity. You have to have proper ventilation with HEPA filters. And what else? And they take your temperature when you come in. Complimentary.
Nice.
We do that here.
What's happening over there in New Jersey? Anything? Or I know the governor came out against Trump today saying, gee, if Trump had just come out a little earlier and warned us, we might have saved tens of thousands of lives.
Yeah.
I mean, literally you have a president who's wound up murdering people.
Oh yeah, he's got blood on his hands, definitely.
Definitely got blood on his hands.
Hmm.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Yes, Jeff.
Yeah, we can go in restaurants inside now.
Yeah, but what kind of capacity?
I think it's 25%.
Yeah.
25% or something.
Yeah. Well, we're tipping our toe in the water. He said that if it goes good, he could see by November 1st going to 50%. And I think the reason he wants to do that, if possible, is because as winter arrives, the outdoor seating is going to have to go away because you don't want to freeze your ass off. I mean, they can get those big, heat lamps and put them out there. But when it gets really cold, those things aren't even going to work. So I think he's got to get the indoor service going on some level, and so he goes 25% now. He said, and then by November 1st, he said we could do it earlier. He said depending on how the numbers are looking, because he always goes by the science. But he said if people start doing this indoor dining and they violate the rules, we're going to have to say all bets are off. So. And he's you know what?
Trump will have a rally and fuck that all up for you.
Do you know what he's asking people to do? Rat on your restaurant. What he's doing is he's going to have signs in every restaurant saying, if you see a violation of any of these rules in this restaurant, please call this number or go online to this place or text us at. Okay. He said he's going to let the people kind of police the situation. It's kind of cool.
Oh, so I got a bad meal and they're not refunding my money. That's who I'm doing.
That goes on Yelp.
Yeah, but if they show up and they aren't violating any of the rules, you're probably the one that's going to get in trouble.
So maybe they're violating a rule I pointed out. They lose business and sue me.
No, because they say it's anonymous.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so.
There was a report on one of the local stations the other day that was alarming. They were talking about the fact that the situation puts a lot of shopkeepers in some awkward positions when people come in without masks. In effect, we're forcing them to try to enforce the law. And in many cases, scuffles and so forth ensue. It's a tough spot in the case of, in fact, somebody that was the head of the bodega union or amalgamation was complaining that, these people are being asked in effect to stand in the breach to enforce the law.
Well, we have all these videos of people who refuse to remove their masks and start fighting with the person in the store. And
exactly
yet, if you go to any beach town community, and there's a bar and it says no shoes, no shirt, no service, nobody ever gets into a fight with them over that.
Right.
Well, what about? I think I see a violation here. I got a picture of it. I won't report it if you give me my meal for free. I mean, there's all kinds of people get a little bit of power. They say, I see a violation, I'm going to report it. Oh, no, you're not. Oh, yes, I am. Oh, no, you're not.
Maybe that's how things go in Kuala Lumpur, but here in New York, we're far more civilized.
No, I see some restaurants outside of D.C. where you say you like Trump and they ban you or something.
I think that's a good idea.
The Red Hen Restaurant.
The Red Hen Restaurant?
Remember that one? I think it was in Virginia somewhere.
Where they wouldn't let Trump's liar in. What's her name? Sandra Sanders.
Well, Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, and they kicked her out.
They refused the right
to serve. She's got a new book out.
Right?
She's got a new book out. They were going to give her to Kim Jong-un for one night.
Yeah. I heard
what?
Take one for the team.
What on earth could she possibly? Kim Jong-un really? I mean, I don't believe that story.
He was winking at her.
Well,
maybe he likes guys.
All I know is I saw her the other day on I think Fox, and she's had some face work done because she's looking much better than she looked before.
No Greta Van Susteren move.
Well, you know something? They did a lot of work on Greta, and it didn't work. Hold on a second. I have to get soda. Here we go.
Didn't help.
My throat is, I'm coughing a little bit. Oh, maybe I'm getting the COVID.
The landlord wants me to go and get a picture of this thing.
What?
I got to take a close-up picture of it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Tell it to smile.
If you don't come back, who should we call?
I'll tell you, point your camera over there while you go over to take the picture.
Oh, this would be great. Great TV here. Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Okay. Now
you zoom up, please. We need good action.
So you're going to go over there and take a picture, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got it. Hold on. I messed something up here. Can you still see me?
Turn up your volume so we can hear it.
We see the
We
cage.
see the cage.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Hold on.
Good luck.
You might zoom in a little bit on it. You might zoom in a little bit on it if you can.
No, that's the best I can do.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see you go over there and take a picture.
Okay.
Here, kitty. Here, kitty.
Does the Civet have a SAG-AFTRA card?
Hey, John Larkin, by the way, when you're on the chat, you're still John Larkin, just to let you know.
Yeah, I know.
No, he's not. He's Kenny Kierkegaard.
On the chat.
Oh, on the chat.
On the chat. He's still John Larkin.
Yeah.
Oh no! Here
we go. What's he gonna? What's he trying? Oh, he's trying to take a picture of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Boy, he wouldn't even get close to the cage, would he?
No, he gets closer than I would have got.
Yeah. If that gets out, that's gonna attack him.
Is this entertainment or what, folks?
Yeah.
I think it comes under the category of or what. Anyway. What else is happening? Is there anything else happening in the news? Oh, the Oscars. Have you seen about this?
They're not going to have one.
No, they have new rules coming up. There has to be anybody who makes a movie. It has to be inclusive, otherwise it can't be nominated. In other words,
Yeah, I'm totally against this.
at least
Because
one
the alley
character,
was-
at least one character in the film has to be a minority. I mean, there are rules like that, and a certain
What?
amount of minorities have to be working on your picture.
So now they're gonna have what cameos of people walking in the background to make it qualify, or what?
Yeah, probably.
Jeez, come on.
You know, I mean, I can think of several movies where actually, I don't think there would be any black characters if you were doing the story.
No.
You know,
This is the kind of thing that drives people to Trump. It's sort of, when we go overboard on the other side, we definitely need diversity and inclusion. We need that, but you can't mandate it.
well, why don't you do?
can't have-
What you do is you do diversity by example, and you say, hey, your box office is going to be hurt if you aren't inclusive, and that's the way people will do stuff. You know, I mean, we've changed a lot of the ideas and thoughts and ways we have do things in films and portray things in films because of the zeitgeist, the tempo of the times. Am I right, Robert?
I think that is right. The messaging.
You know.
If you mandate it, it makes you look like you're mandating it. Like you're
And
just
quite
doing
frankly,
it.
I've been looking forward to doing something, and I guess I can't do it now. I wanted to do a white version of The Wiz.
Won't work.
Huh?
That's an old
Won't
one.
work.
An
Too
old,
good.
Yeah.
Alex
Too
Bennett.
good the way it is.
No, it's not an old joke, actually. It's a story that I was told by, who was the science fiction writer? Oh, God. I'm trying to remember his name now. Anyway, he in fact, one time he called me a disc jockey, so I called him a science fiction writer. He didn't like to be called science fiction writer. Harlan Ellison. And he tells a story about how he calls up his agent, and his agent he picks up the phone and he is just laughing his head off. And Harlan says, "What's going on?" He said, "I can't talk to you right now." He says, I just got to calm down. I'll call you back in a few minutes." He calls him back in a few minutes, and he's still kind of laughing, but he can get a sentence out now. And he says, what went on? Why are you laughing like this? He said, "I just got a call from somebody, and he pitched me on an idea." And Harlan said, "What was the idea?" And he said, he wants to do a white version of The Wiz. Some guy actually thought that would be a good idea. So it's not a joke, it's a true story. You know.
But there already was a white version of The Wiz, The Wizard of Oz.
Well, of course, but that's the joke. You
I know.
This cat is
What?
it is just trying to get out of it. And it doesn't care if it really damages itself.
Really?
I can't watch it,
Well, then why don't you just, I don't know. I'll tell you, I have an idea. Why don't you put a sticker on there, go down to the airport, and ship it to the White House?
Yeah.
He's trying to get the banana.
Is he trying to get the banana?
Yeah.
What is that their food of choice?
Oh, they love bananas.
Yeah, but it's outside. No wonder he's trying to kill himself.
Oh,
No.
that's
No.
Oh,
That
boy, I
actually
can see
makes
it now.
him Calm down.
Wow.
He calms down trying to get that,
It looks like
It's
it's
a
like
focus on that.
like a jackal.
Wow. It's a weird animal. What a
Holy
weird,
shit.
scary animal.
That thing's huge.
Yeah. He's trying to.
Looks like a lemur.
It kind of does. It doesn't look. And does it have like a mask on it?
Yeah. See how it's trying to
Brady.
bite the metal? It's trying to break the spring. But even if it breaks that spring, it's still not going to be able to get out. It'll have a better chance,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's going to be able to break that spring. But if it does, there's another holder on the bottom. It could, in theory, it could. But look at that; it's biting the hook.
You
Got a
should cut the
baseball
banana
bat?
up so it can get some of the
Let's
banana.
just get a baseball
No.
bat. smash the banana so it goes through.
Well, he's licking.
I
He's
can
licking the
definitely
banana.
give it more banana, no problem.
Well, send him a shake.
But
The
it should be able to
banana
get
sucks.
it. It
Yep.
should be able to get it, and it's keeping it busy.
Yeah, it's
Without, if I
distracted.
just give it to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll be
But
tuning
the
in.
problem is, I got to put the banana on the other side because it keeps getting caught on that hook, trying to get the banana. And so that's a little bit of a problem. But boy, this thing, when he doesn't like it, he just goes berserko. You know, he like tries to eat the hook. Like, what kind of logic is that?
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, well, he's also feels cramped by the size of the
Yeah.
cage, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, go,
Well-
go put him in a bigger cage. We'll wait. We'll watch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would.
get
I
out.
would, I would drag them to the SPCA or whatever, and say, "Here, you take care of it now."
You need
It's
to
like
get a
it's coming.
tranquilizer gun.
Just put them
They
out on
said
the
they're on
curb.
the way, and they will tranquilize it.
Just for the sake of history here, I want to review the program thus far.
Okay, go right ahead, Robert. Robert will now sum up the
Talked
program.
about Trump getting the Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
We've watched the Civet. Is there anything else that I should write down?
Talked about Oscars.
We talked
mandating
about the Oscars, about the.
Kirstie Alley.
The weather.
Minor shit.
Did the weather.
Yeah, but I should really look this up so I can tell you exactly what it says. Let me see here. If I do this in Deadline Hollywood. By the way, did you see that Anna Faris is leaving Mom? I don't know if any of you guys care about that.
He's what?
Anna Faris is leaving the show Mom.
Oh, Chris Pratt's ex.
Yeah. Yeah, let me see here.
I never saw the show.
Hypnotic, Deadline Now,
I never
Keeping
saw
Up
it.
with the Kardashians, Denise Richards. I can't find
I'm
the
most
story.
interested in Star Trek Discovery Season 3. They just dropped their trailer. And The Mandalorian also announced its date when it's coming back.
Here it says after a health plan to offer 80% reduction in Cobra premiums. Gee, that might be cheaper than what's happening with me. Anyway, where are we? I can't find it. I was looking for that thing that would have a story on the Oscars. Awards line. Let me see here. Oscars shake up Best Picture eligibility standards. Here we go. Oh, come on. Skip ad. Go. Let's see here. It's the most dramatic swing towards true diversity. Oscar is laying down significant requirements in order to be eligible for an award. You have to have at least one Asian, Hispanic, Latinx. What is that? Black African American, Indigenous, Native American, Alaskan Native, Middle Eastern, North African, Native Hawaiian, or other Pacific Islander or unspecified other unrepresentative race or ethnicity as a lead or significant supporting actor is a potential requirement under the new guidelines, with these ethnicities also mentioned for prominent production and marketing jobs, additionally employing women, LGBTQ, RMSOPs, members of a racial... Oh, it goes on and on. You cannot be nominated for an Academy Award unless you have some of those requirements now. That doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense, does it? So, anyway. We only got a couple of minutes left here. Oh.
I don't think I can get in that group.
Well,
in what
you know,
group? Oh.
I think what you could do, if you get your DNA done, we all have, we're all kind of mixed.
Well, we all go back to Africa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Technically, we're all Africans.
Yeah.
So
We're all mutts.
Hey, bros.
Yeah. Just a lot of us didn't get out in the sun a lot, but I mean, you're right. So, what else? That's about it.
Yeah.
What's her name doesn't look too good. Kylie, and what's her name who does the briefings? Pinky today?
Yeah, she looked pretty tore up
She looks
today.
worn down. Yeah, she
You know who
looks.
I like is
About time to replace
CNN's
her.
Pamela Brown.
Who's Pamela Brown?
Oh, she just got into it with Senator Kennedy about the
Oh,
Trump
yeah.
audio. Yeah,
I saw that.
and she's feisty. I like
Doesn't
her.
that guy talk like Foghorn Leghorn?
That's a joke, son. That's a joke.
It sounds like him.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Foghorn Leghorn? She looks like, sounds like Foghorn.
No, he
Leghorn?
talks like him, the senator from Louisiana.
I know what you're talking about there, boy.
I don't understand it.
Oh, they had that. Did you see
here now.
Tucker brought on the gal that runs that hair place?
Oh
that
yeah, I saw that.
Pelosi was in?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, I saw
hilarious.
that.
Did he just parade her in front of the frickin' television for a few minutes, or what?
And the woman was looking for her 5 seconds of fame.
It was ridiculous.
You know.
It was ridiculous. I'm not a political.
I don't get what that whole thing was about. What? Because
Yeah, I don't get
Pelosi
it.
because
What's the point?
Pelosi wasn't
It was
wearing
so
a mask.
stupid. And they put her on there, and you know that she set her up. What the fuck you want?
Yeah.
Go away.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't
what
get
was
it.
it? What
What's
was
the
the
deal?
big deal?
Pelosi was stupid, and so was she for setting her up for it.
Yeah, it's her. It was the ladies' salon. She invited Pelosi to come in for the service. So, what's the fucking
set
deal?
her
There's
up
no
for
law
it.
that's broken.
They
Huh?
set her up, pulled off the video, put it on TV,
Yeah.
showed it to everybody, and then now
And
she's
then we're-
screwed because
well,
everybody's
big deal.
trying to chase her out of San Francisco. Oh well, see you later.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
deal.
So
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I went, what the hell? Because I was trying to bounce back and forth to see what was going on between Fox and CNN on the
what's
on the
Fox?
book
You know the other
today.
thing I hate about those news operations now is they get stuck on one story and they just
It
can't.
was all day long.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
day it was the Woodward thing. Like this woman wrote here and said, "Why aren't you talking about the Woodward thing? Haven't you had enough already?"
Well, you go
You
to
know?
CNN.
Yeah.
I was watching that, and the
They're
case
like
obviously
radio
was the
stations.
first thing every hour, and then you go to Fox, and they weren't talking about it at all. But then once Tucker and Hannity got a hold of it, it was all night. And
And what-
Hannity got Trump on too.
And
Of
how?
course.
Yeah,
and-
they
Trump kept
It's
talking
true,
the
isn't
same stupid stuff.
Yeah,
over.
same shit.
Well,
he
I
talked
was-
about the first little bit, and then defended himself, and then he's just went into, I do all the testing, all the same old shit.
I didn't want to panic people, he says.
Yeah, I didn't want to panic people. Well, you fucking killed them.
well,
Yeah, so
right.
we lied to
You
him. Yeah.
fucktard.
Yeah.
That's what she says. She says he's the most transparent president in history.
Yeah.
Is that
That was her closing line.
is that a picture of a Barbie doll?
Yeah, that's Pinky. Pinky. Yeah, she looked really tired. Her makeup and everything, she looks like she's done.
Yeah,
Like when they were asking the questions, she's thumbing through her book,
yeah,
and they kept pounding her.
yeah.
All the Woodward
She did
questions.
look really weak.
Oh, look at! I have my goodnight star. I have my goodnight star.
Oh, there she is. Adrian, you've grown.
She got bigger.
You've grown,
Adrian grew up.
Adrian.
We're saying goodnight, babe. Come on, you can wave with everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, go ahead, Alex. You can start the theme.
Well, I'll start the theme going here. Hold on a second. Let me go get the theme going.
See, they got Alex. He was a big deal. He was a big shot. Yeah.
Yeah, before you ever got to the
Well, it
Bay
is big.
Area.
The radio got small.
Yeah, it's the radio that got small, not my career. Anyway, hey, thank you very much, Charlie, for being here. Robert, always great having you here. Brian, terrific, especially with the eye candy you bring along.
Yeah. Thanks.
You know, I'm talking about Adrian. Boy, that's a great kid you got there. Jeff, thank you so very much. John Larkin, thank you. Thank you, Kevin Stopper, and the big owner of a current owner of a Civet, Bree, B. Freeman. Everybody, give yourself a big wave goodbye, and I'll wave goodbye at you. Okay, there they go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our group for tonight. That's our program for tonight. Stay tuned now for Jack Bishop. He's next with a little show he likes to call, yes, The Intersection. He'll be using Skype to take your calls, so give him a call, and We'll see you again tomorrow night. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her. And by the way, be safe out there, okay? And whatever you do, not for yourself, for your fellow person, wear a mask, okay? Good night, everybody. See you later.